Hello and welcome back to another amazing episode of Get Good at Business. Today we have a Get Good at Business highlight with the wonderful Jordan Tait. I am your host and business coach, Taylor Proctor, helping you get good at business so you can get back into the heart of why you got into business in the first place. And the way that we do that is through the I Move method. And of course, I Move stands for intuition, marketing, operations, velocity, and execution. And today I'm so excited to be joined by Jordan, and he's going to share how he utilizes the components of the I Move method to support his business growth in 2024. So Jordan has always been driven to maximize his freedom and enjoyment of life. He's actually traveled to over 40 different countries while coaching hundreds of business owners to achieve their goals. He helps those small business owners grow without grinding by increasing their income while working for fewer hours per week. Jordan, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me, Taylor. I'm really excited to be here.
Yeah. So let's talk first and foremost how you had the inspiration for your business, right? Coaching coaches and business owners is amazing. What got you into that? And specifically with the direction and the niche of helping people grow while you were traveling and growing your business as well.
Yeah, I've been coaching for 8 years in a variety of roles, both internally in a big corporate franchise as a management consultant and within organizations as a CEO. And through all that experience, I learned so much. And then in the last year, I broke off from all of that and I started my own business to coach other people. And as I was in the exploratory phase of who do I want to help and what do I want to help with, what really stood out to me was the story I've seen so many business owners go through, which is they start a business for the time and the freedom and to be their own boss and to treat themselves better than their old employers did. And then they end up in the opposite experience, working harder than they want to be, not earning the money, not feeling that freedom, no vacations or anything. And so that's the problem I help people solve is breaking free from that to reclaim the time and freedom that they started their business to provide.
I love that. And it sounds like, you said you've done this in a couple of different ways, different capacities, and then felt the call to go out on your own. Was that led by intuition? And how do you use intuition in your business ongoing?
Great question. It truly was. So I was a partner in a management consulting business, and I had a bunch of big clients and big corporations. And over the years, I learned a lot doing that, but I eventually started to realize I was dragging myself into work and I was looking forward to the end of the day. And I started to feel less and less engaged in what I was doing. So through some soul searching and checking in on the intuition, I recognized that I'm much more passionate about coaching. And I felt such a bigger impact when I help an individual change their life than when I help a big organization fix an operational thing.
Right.
So it's a hard decision to make, but I left that business in the summer and started my current business.
I love that. So obviously, there's a lot of marketing that goes into in the corporate world, right? That's usually handled by other people. And now you're in your own business and you're connecting with these coaches and these entrepreneurs, helping them. How are you marketing your business, and what practical and effective methods have you utilized?
I'll say this was the biggest blocker and challenge I had when I started my business was that I had coached hundreds of people, but I'd never had to sell or market any of them. They'd all been given to me. So when I started my business, that's where I focused most of my effort was identifying how am I going to find new clients? How am I going to market myself authentically? And through the last 8 months, I've focused all my effort on LinkedIn, and it's been working quite well. Getting usually 1 to 2 clients a month through there from daily posting, a little bit of outreach, and building an engaged community there.
I love that. And I would love to know too, I find that a lot of business owners, uh, even when they've been doing it in corporate, I come from corporate years too, right? 15 years in marketing, operations, strategy, leadership, all of that good stuff. And then coming over to doing my own business, and I see this with other people, is there's a lot of emphasis that's forgotten when it comes to like that ideal client. But that's a key part of marketing. So how did you hone in on that ideal client, and what is your ideal client?
My ideal client is a solopreneur to a small business owner, usually doing, anywhere from a couple 100,000 up to a few million. And typically they're in a service business. So they are providing a service to clients, whether that's marketing, coaching, consulting, or home services as well. I narrowed in on that because throughout my career, I had always been a service provider. I had a painting business, I had a consulting business, I did coaching. So that's where I understand the experience of scaling a business the most. And I also feel that when you're a service provider, you're selling your time for money in the first few years. And the critical shift most people fail to make is breaking free from the time for money trap. So that's part of what I help people with.
I love that. And I think this is a really good time to share. You have a free resource for our audience all related to time and money.
Yeah, I believe time and money are the two most challenging resources to manage as we grow a business because they're both limited and they're both critical to growth. So the resource I have is the top 10 time and money mistakes I've seen business owners make and how to solve them. And the reason these are critical is because when you're making these mistakes, you've got money and time leaking out of your business. And when you fix them, you can actually earn more while working less and take more control.
So awesome. Love that. And the link to that resource is in the description of today's episode. But so speaking of gaining more time and money, there's a lot of operational support that usually has to happen to be able to make that a thing, right? To the where we want our goals to be. So can you share a little bit about the operational processes and the operational support that you've implemented to help continue to grow your business?
My background was in operations, both as a consultant and an ops manager. So I think very systems oriented, and everything I do is focused on how can I make this replicable, consistent, and efficient for myself. So but I also like to keep things fairly simple. So I honestly use the whole Google suite and organize my whole life and business through there, through sheets and everything. And then in terms of support, the current my current workload is super manageable for me, and the current plan is to hire a VA in the next few months to help with some of the lower lift stuff that is just keeping me busy.
Yeah, that just takes time away from you and needs to be done, but highlighted can be done by somebody else where you get to live in your genius. I love that.
Yeah.
So let's talk about velocity, right? Obviously, you've been doing this for a long time and then moved into your own business and are there for quite a while now as well. What strategies have you implemented to really maintain and gain velocity, growth, momentum in your business?
The core fundamental thing that I learned as a consultant was that all businesses have bottlenecks that restrict and limit their growth. And so identifying that bottleneck and solving it is the fastest way to grow. So in my current business, my bottleneck is on lead flow. And as soon as I solve that, I'll be able to double or triple my revenue. And as soon as I get there, then I'll have to solve other things around my capacity and my time and other things. So that's the way I'm looking at it right now is the current bottleneck is on lead flow, but as I solve that, it will then open up the next, which will be my capacity.
Yeah, so awesome. Well, I think that's also a great way to lean into the execution side of the I move method, which is what is something, sounds like you've already hinted to it, right? What is something that you are focusing on, an initiative, a project in the next 90 days that's really going to help your business grow?
I'm working with a marketing coach of my own, and he's helping me develop a marketing message and a program that will help me coach more people and provide better results so that I can sell more clients in without scaling the effort from me. And so that's the core focus for me the next few months is designing and launching that program.
I love it. Awesome. Well, Jordan, thank you so much for being so candid and so real with us about your business today. Give us one more time of sharing about that time and money resource that is at theintentionalbusiness.ca/time and money. Tell us again why we need to download that.
So most people, when they think about growth, they think about it through addition, and I have to put in more effort to keep growing. But when your business is not very efficient and it's leaking time or money, you actually don't want to do more and more and more. That's where the grind comes from. You want to solve those problems, become more optimized, and then you can grow by doing less.
Amazing. Awesome. Jordan, thank you so much. And for those of you listening, if you liked the idea of the I move method and we're wondering how to implement it into your business to get good at business. This podcast is sponsored by the Get Good at Business Mastermind. It is a monthly mastermind where we dive into all the things of iMove to help you get good at business. This includes trainings, networking, hot seat Q&A, and co-working sessions, all designed to help you get good at business and get on the other side so you can get back into why you got into the heart of business in the first place. So be sure to check that out. We have the links in the description for that as well. And that is, again, the Get Good at Business Mastermind. Jordan, thank you so much for joining us today. And everyone else, stay tuned. We have more incredible Get Good at Business highlights coming soon.
Thank you.